Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we're talking some Ready to Love Potomac because another teaser clip had dropped today ahead of Friday's part 2 of the reunion episode. And Joy and Dakia get into it, and there is a lot of reaction on social media about it, including Joy and Clifton replying in the comments to kind of, to people who are upset with what's taking place in the clip. And essentially the clip is, Joy and Dakia going back and forth in terms of, what was really true about her connection with Clifton. And Joy was trying to tell her basically her and Clifton were a thing from day one, and that Dakia allegedly romanticized whatever her connection was with Clifton, and everybody, knew that Joy and Clifton were a thing. And so it's causing a lot of debate. And so I think the one thing that, people have to understand is when you're critiquing these shows and you're watching these shows from a viewer perspective, we're reacting to what is being presented to us, how production is setting up the show for us, right? So from a viewer's perspective, right, we knew Joey and Clifton had a connection from day one. But unlike Camille and Cornelius in season 5, they did not leave, once they chose each other, right? We still saw Clifton go on dates with other women. We still saw Clifton entertain Dakia and really didn't cut her off until they went to the weekend retreat or what have you. And the thing that's unfortunate is that these reunion shows are filming earlier and earlier for Ready to Love. I believe Sabrina said that only episode 3 or episode 4 had aired when they actually filmed the reunion. And I think that's a huge mistake. I think that's a huge mistake because they're doing it so that they can get like a viral reaction to clips that you may have never seen before. But I feel like unless you have the whole picture of what has been edited so that you could see what is taking place on some of these other dates, so you can see what people are saying in some of these confessionals, I don't think it would be, some of these reactions on the reunion specials. Because, I think Clifton is saying in the comments that, you don't know what happened behind the scenes, or you don't know what happened off camera. And it's like, well, no, we don't. And I think people have to understand, like, if we're seeing a confrontation, we're going to have a reaction. Somebody's either going to be on Dakia's side or somebody is going to be on Joy's side or what have you. And yes, fundamentally, yes, we knew that Joy and Clifton were a thing since day one. However, it still was presented to us in episodes of Clifton going out on dates with other women. And not sure if that was on purpose to just stay on the show to get there to the end, or, what the motivation was. Or the other possible theory is maybe Joy and Clifton were already together before the show started filming. Because that's the only reason that makes sense as to why you would be this upset with Dakia. But I don't know. I just feel like with how this clip has gone viral and some of the reaction, I just feel like there's something deeper there that took place that we are not aware of. So we have no other choice, no other option to just really immediately react to what's being presented to us. And that's, I think, the part sometimes that people don't understand when we have critiques, when we have opinions, when we have criticisms of these shows, of these episodes, we're reacting immediately to what we're seeing. And so from our perspective, we are seeing Dakia and Joy have a disagreement in terms of what actually Dakia felt about her connection with Clifton. And yes, from Joy's perspective, and probably what the guys were telling her, is that Clifton was all about her. Clifton was her number one and this and that. But how does she know what Clifton is also telling Dakia on and off camera? And that's the part that, as women, We have to do better than this, you guys. We have to do better than this. And we treat each other so horribly. And especially on these dating shows, especially really in real life too. We're always quick to come for each other. We're always quick to come for the other female in the situation, but we never hold the men accountable. We never question what the men are doing in these situations. And this reunion has showed time and time again that there has been a lot of messy behavior that basically people did in retaliation if somebody did not choose them to be their top person. And it's just unfortunate that the reunion has turned into, let's all, make this a battle where all the black women are coming for each other, where the black men are coming for the black women. Like, there's no cohesiveness at all. There is no logic at all. There is no unbiased. It seems as though there have been alliances. There have been people who are just teaming up just to come for certain people. And so that's why people feel a certain type of way, because all season we have not had this energy. All season, even with the little drama that we did have, it was never on the level of what this reunion is. This reunion literally is 0 to 100. For no absolute reason. So from a viewer's perspective, this is what we have to react. So you can't be upset with us if we are saying something that you may not like. Everybody has an opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to, feature it. But if there is something that we are missing, if there is a missing piece or a missing story or a missing connection, like we found out in part 1, that there was a secret kiss that happened with Sabrina and Donovan, which kind of pieced together why their last interaction was so chaotic, because we didn't understand what the breakdown was, right? But then we found out about the kiss situation and Donovan telling Demetrius, which ultimately, faltered his connection with Sabrina. And we kind of start to put the puzzle pieces back together. And it's not fair that people, are upset that we are having, our own strong opinions or our own strong reactions to what we're seeing. And not to even hold the men accountable or not take into account that what if the men are telling these women something else as well, that has them thinking something more is happening or something more could potentially happen. Or if they were led on as well and you didn't know about it because you only knew that the men told you that you were their top person, but you didn't know what the men is saying on the flip side to the other women he's going out on dates with, that's giving them hope, that's giving them the thought that maybe they still, want to be with me or whatever, right? And that's the piece that gets frustrating, because instead of having all of the facts, just going in on the attack on each other just isn't it. We have to do better, you guys. We have to do better than this. Because it's there's a part of me that doesn't even want to watch part 2 of the reunion anymore, because I still have PTSD from the first part of what was all revealed. And even the preview for tomorrow, where we're going to see the continued back and forth with Precious and Demetrius, and now this banter between, Dakia and Joy. I don't even know if Clifton's even going to say anything about it. We'll have to wait and see, but it's just unfortunate, you guys. It's just unfortunate, and it's getting uncomfortable. And, we're at this point with the show that it needs to be revamped. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but they have to revamp this show down to casting, down to process, down to everything. Because it seems as though there's a lot that's taking place off camera that's not making sense to us on camera. And by the time we find out all of these pieces of information, the show has ended. The show is over. And that completely changes our perception of who we thought were the power couples, of who we thought really were having the connections. And then we find out there's other stronger connections that are taking place off camera, but it's being edited to us to present a different couple. And in reality, there's really only one couple that's legit, but you're presenting other false narratives of other couples who are playing a game to stay to the end, but are not really romantically interested in each other. They might be physically attracted to each other. They may want to sleep with each other or have friends with benefits or whatever, but they're with each other with the mutual agreed upon alliance that they're choosing each other because their number one picks went in another direction and didn't choose them. And so that's why us as viewers, we feel a certain type of way, because it's like we see who's gaming who and who's getting away with it and who's not being held accountable. And to the point, it's like, okay, if you guys were all about each other, why didn't you leave like Camille and Cornelius did in season 5? Because then there's no point to stay all these additional weeks just to say you, quote, made it to the end. If you guys were all about each other, but instead we were presented with more dates on Clifton's side and him, bringing women to meet his friends and this and that. So that's why people are having the reaction. You have to look at it from other perspectives, right? You're getting a partial point of it because they're going to tell you what you want to hear, but you're not taking into account what, the woman is hearing on her end from the same guy. And so that's the part that gets frustrating, because it's like people get upset if we're not on their side or we're not giving them all this praise or whatever and this and that, and saying, well, you don't know what happened, or you don't know the full story, or you don't know this and that, what took place off camera. And it's like, no, we don't. But why are you condemning us for reacting to what we're seeing in a particular clip? If we see something that's not making us feel comfortable, if we're seeing an interaction that is making us question certain things and questioning certain characters and things of that nature, why is that an issue? Especially when we were presented all of the episodes. So we know about the other dates. We know about the other confessionals. We know other things that took place as to why I could see why Dakia could think, okay, maybe this has a potential, right? And it was when she saw the retreat, she realized how strong and how much further along the connection was with Clifton and Joy at that point, and then removed herself from the situation. But it just seems like there's going to be even more division heading into this episode tomorrow. And it's just truly unfortunate, because we have to do better, you guys. We have to do better as Black women to, hear each other out instead of always trying to come for each other and always trying to come in for the attack and, just taking what, certain people say is the gospel because you like them or whatever, or you're aligned with them or whatever, but not taking into account all factors. And I feel like this is going to be another one of those situations that will eventually reveal itself what all the facts are. So that's all the thoughts that I have. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.